breath. Girl, you turn me on. I'd like to take you home. I can hear the screaming soon. Tell the DJ to pump it up a little more. I gotta let you know you.
Woo! Gotcha.
I'm live on here, so don't come over here.
Huh?
Move. Hey, to whoever watching, 3 people. Y'all gonna say something? No one here. No, it's not. Steve Scroggin, DCFL. No. No.
Drama cream.
What's going on, man? Isn't it going to be a dash fest? A dash fest? Dashing who? I'm not bashing anyone. I just want to talk about football. No bash fest. Mm-mm. No, who would I be bashing? I'm not bashing anyone, brother. I just want to talk about the star and them boys. That's all. No bash fest. Training camp, preseason, stuff like that. I'm not here to bash no one. I would never bash my own team. No, brother. Not at all. Not at all. Just talking football, man. Not gonna be long though. I know my Cowboys family probably gonna go live in the next few minutes. Man. Well, the titles at Dak is. Oh no, no, I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just gonna give my opinion on what I thought Dak should have said and bashing. No, no, sir. I'm not bashing anyone. I mean, you know. Oh man, 1980, bro. Just wanna, the thing for me about Prescott, I think he should have just said he gonna do what he did last year. And we know what he did last year, and that was stand for the anthem. That's all he could have said. He could have said, people know my take on it. I stood last year for it. I'm gonna stand this year for it. And that could have been it. I don't want anyone that don't believe in, you know, equality to even pretend like they do. So I don't have nothing against people that stand for it. I don't have nothing against. I'm glad, man. He been called Uncle Tom and yada yada. Oh no, he's a kid. He's a kid. He's still learning the ropes, man. I don't think he had ill intent by his comment. Not at all. He was just trying to please his boss. And I think a couple of things came out the wrong way. But once again, I like to see action when it comes to really believing in something like injustice and inequalities in the community. I like to see action, and taking a knee just don't do it for me. So I don't give a damn about that stuff. But it came off wrong. Anyways, training camp. 1980. I'm gonna put the link in the hangout in case you want to come in, bro. Not saying you have to, but I'm gonna put the link in the hangout anyway, in case you got something you want to talk about. Anybody can get in my hangouts. I don't care. Matter of fact, for anybody that want to come in here and chitty chat with me, there you go, right there. All you need is go hangout. Training camp. Let's talk about training camp. It's been real. Oh man. Come on, give me the intro.
What's going on, you guys? Dallas Cowboy football news, fifth quarter Cowboys. Thank you for having me, letting me join your live session. Let's talk about some training camp.
Let's do it, man. Let's talk about some training camp, brother. Man, it's killing me softly. I've been seeing some footage that's online, handing out pancakes like they are Denny's. Yeah, the O-line, they are our O-line is. You know something though, I like what I saw from Travis Frederick, the way he handled Brian Price, but I was like, come on, man, it's your player. You ain't got to do him like that. You ain't got to do him that bad, because man, Travis Frederick handled Brian Price. Football news, did you see that?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen that, brother from another mother, and I love it. You can never, ever have, there's never too much intensity, okay? I loved it. I want to see more from it from this O-line, because when guys get manhandled in front of 89 other guys and 30 coaches, best believe they don't want that shit to happen to them again, because you got to win eventually. If not, someone's going to win. Brian Price just got paid some money at the end of the day. Brian, this is the second day. They're off today, so the second day of training camp. Getting manhandled, you got to love it, because it's only going to make Brian Price better against mediocre offensive lines.
Okay, that's a good point. Space Cowboy in the house. What's going on, brother?
Man, what's going on, man? How's the day been for you?
Pretty good, bro. We just yeah, good answer there, football news. Just talking about the whole thing what happened with Brian Price and Travis Frederick. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I love what this offense.
Finally,
there you
Dallas
go.
Cowboy fan 1980 back.
There you
To
go.
the round table. What's up, fellas? What's going on, everybody?
Man, we talking about how this O-line has just been abusing people, man. They've been abusing people. Oh my God. Lyle Collins handled Taco so crazy. A scuffle broke out.
What?
Oh, Lyle Collins handled Taco crazy, man. He couldn't do nothing, man.
And see, with that, because a lot of people hate on Lyle Collins, saying, oh, he should move back to left guard. This is the reason why you don't do that. And I had to convince DJ Crown J, fifth quarter Cowboys, of why you don't do stuff like that. It's because Lyle Collins is a beast on that right. I mean, he handled defensive ends. I mean, yeah, he got beat by Denver, with Von Miller, but everybody got beat by Denver week 2 last year.
It was his second game, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Lyle Collins is getting settled in. He's getting settled in, and he is making defense. Even Connor Williams, he needs what the problem with Connor Williams though is he gets off balance too fast. He just has to trust his feet. He has to trust his legs. He has to trust his eyes. I mean, everything in off. I mean, my brother played center from Pee Wee football all the way up to his senior year. And offensive linemen, if they get off balance, they're gonna lose. And Connor Williams is so strong. He's so physique. I mean, he's built just like Tyron Smith. So a big guy like that getting off balance, it's gonna look goofy out there. He's gonna look like one of them sour straws going like this.
Yeah. Agreed. My Cowboys family, how you doing? How y'all doing, man?
What's up? Just stopping in real quick, man. What's up, man? The whole crew is here.
Yeah, the whole crew here, man. I wanted to ask you something before I go to Will. How did you feel about Travis Frederick, handling Brian Price like that?
I loved it. I loved it in the sense that, you want to see it from your offensive line, man. You want to see that rough and rugged. I mean, the way Zach Martin, came out and blocked out Joe Thomas on that one, like that Pittsburgh play, that San Francisco play, that screen flat pass to Zeke. And they had Swam on the outside blocking Cheeto. I mean, that was just a really smarter kind of play. I'm looking forward to what this whole offensive line, they're so fast. The interior, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, and Connor Williams, they're so fast. And that's why that play works. Look at the video of that 2016 game. I know it's a different, I know we had Leary, and I know we had, what's his name, Cooper from last year at guard. But this year, Connor, no, I'm talking about interior, not the tackles.
Jonathan
Jonathan Cooper. The interior guys, man, they're so fast, and Connor Williams is fucking fat. I'm sorry, but they're all fast. All three guys inside, and you watch that play. I think that's going to be a play we're going to use often. It's almost unstoppable with these guys so fast and so strong out there. It's great.
Timeout. I got to do this, Crown J, real quick. What's up? Welcome to the 24th and a half round table. We got Space Cowboy 17, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, my Cowboys family. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News and your host, Fifth Quarter Cowboys.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you should do radio, man. You should do radio. 1980, man. Let me get in on you real quick, bro. Let me ask you this. I've been watching what Christian Shaw is doing with our corners, and he got them being real physical off the line. And, it's something that he did in the past because we know Richard Sherman, that's how he would win a lot of his battles. And he would also get a lot of pass interference. Like, do you think we will win more battles versus getting a lot of pass interference this year? Because Christian Shaw, he likes his cornerback to be very handsy. So do you think this will help us more than to hurt us this year? Can't hear you, bro.
You're on mute, 1980. You're on mute. You're on mute, brother. He's giving a whole paragraph.
There you go.
Hey, actually, it is a lot better to be a little bit physical, for our corners to be physical, because that's why we've been getting a lot of teams get up the field, on us so fast, because we've been playing those deep zones. And that shows fear. When you play zone, when you play back, that shows fear. And the offense takes advantage of that. If the man is up, if the cornerback is up playing man to man, bump and run or whatever, at least showing or acknowledging the fact that he's going to play man, at least start out in man and go into a zone or whatever. That gives that quarterback a second thought to like, whoa, he's my receiver is covered, so I better not throw there right away. I got to look around first. You get what I'm saying? But that safe defense we've been playing, Marinelli's been throwing out, man. We've been getting a lot of passing yards on us because guys are playing, so far back. It's giving that quarterback an opportunity to find somebody open real fast. So being aggressive on that. As far as the secondary, is something that you want, because it takes away the thought process of that quarterback. You know what I mean? Okay. That's why Deion was so good at the way he, that's why he was so good, because he used to bait those quarterbacks in, and he barely saw action coming his way, because he was so good that you really couldn't teach him. He had the positions down to a science. You couldn't really teach him or tell him where to be or anything. He didn't even have to. I say this a million times. He didn't even have to go to the huddle. So once those guys become shut down corners, the aggressive that the defensive play calling would be. It's all on the cornerbacks though. If you got those type of cornerbacks, see, he sees something in Cheeto. He sees something in Byron Jones, which is really surprised me. Like Cowboys family said, he stepped up. He's getting interceptions. So. He's coming around, so he sees aggressiveness on his cornerbacks and secondary. So he's able to do that. That he's able to bring that Legion of Boom style over to Dallas.
I like that response, man. My Cowboys family, let me ask you something, man. You're a big offensive line run type of guy. Do you think the connection that Jonathan Cooper eventually got with Tyron Smith, how long do you think it'll take Connor Williams to get that connection to where they ain't really got to talk? They can just kind of know what they got to do together. You think it'll take this whole season halfway?
For who? For Williams?
For Connor Williams and Tyron Smith to be on the same page.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and also Travis Frederick. I mean, Frederick was basically like the quarterback of that squad. Okay. So he's gonna be helping inside. It was a play where he got burned inside by Jihad Ward on the one-on-ones or whatever that was, and he just slithered in there between the inside. If Travis Frederick has to take on another an incoming blitz or something in the middle, then Connor Williams has to cover the inside without the help from Frederick, and he did not. So he's going to have some time still. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's not jumping in. I think Gallup dropped a couple balls yesterday, and so these rookies still going to have time. They're going to have growing pains, all that stuff. But the future looks bright with these guys, man. And Connor Williams, he's just quick. He's fast. He made some great blocks. He lost some battles, but it's his training camp and it's his rookies, So I love what we see with this team. We don't talk about Dak friendly. We talk about versatility and competition, but speed is a word. And I'm talking about defense, offense, receivers, offensive line, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all speed. This is a speed-based team now. And I like kind of and speed and aggressive on defense is aggressive with that Richard, cover three, tough, aggressive kind of big guys covering three parts of the field like we talked about in the round table with Will, and I just love what we have the potential to be and do this year.
Buddy Johnson was moving on. Dallas Cowboy football news. Jihad Ward, what are you expecting out of him? Are you expecting him to really fill in for David Irvin, or what are you expecting out of Jihad Ward football news?
You expect him to fill in for David Irvin. I mean, the depth at that position is so low that they went out and they traded for Jihad Ward. They gave up Ryan Switzer, who, in my opinion, was a potential explosive player. And Jihad Ward, the Raiders played a 3-4 defense over there in college. His whole career, he's played a 4-3. The scheme Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard are putting together fits exactly what Jihad Ward is going to be successful on. He's going against the best of the best here with his offensive lineman. So and it's only the first week. It's complete of training camp. So he's going to get better with these guys as they go on. And you got really good teachers like Malik Collins, Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, these core guys. I mean, Jeff Heath can probably teach you some things on film, do this, move like that, do these things. So he has a good foundation and a good team, to support him. And so far he's doing okay. Of course, this was a former second-round pick. Just didn't pan out where the Raiders are, so it's a fresh start for the Dallas Cowboys. I think Jihad Ward has to show what he's capable of with David Irvin out, and just because of lack of depth there that we have at that position. So Jihad Ward, all the eyes are on you. This is your spot to lose. This is your spot to hold down, because if he does good, there's no guarantees David Irvin's going to get that spot back. You see what I'm saying? So with David Irvin, with these 4-game suspensions, just like last year, if Jihad Ward balls out, I mean, David Irvin's a whole other animal. It's going to take a lot to get 7 sacks in 8 games, but if you do that and you stay healthy, there's a chance that Jihad Ward could replace David Irvin.
Wow. Oh boy, Space, my brother. Let me ask you something. Me and you talk about this a lot, so that's why I brought this to you. Safeties. Who is your guy that you think is really, really gonna take? Do you see this in Xavier Woods being the most dominant safety we got, or South to Heaven? What's going on, brother? Yeah, who you got for dominant free safety, strong safety? I don't care. Who's your guy that you think is gonna stand out this year?
To be honest, I would say Xavier Woods because that's kind of like generic, and I'm not saying like that's a bad thing, right? But for me personally, I would not be surprised if Jeff Heath has a good year this year. Oh, hold on.
South to heaven, mute your mic.
I got him. Don't worry. Anyway, as I was saying, there's a lot of good undrafted free agents the Cowboys got. They got Cam Kelly. They got a couple others. Unfortunately, I don't remember the names off top of my head. Excuse me. But the Cowboys have a lot of good safety talent. It's just, can it be utilized? We got to see what happens with Kayvon.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's going to happen with him, because it's weird because they have their own different play styles. I really think they don't have a distinct, like, oh my God, this guy is like all pro, but he's going to be solid. If like Barry Church level, JJ Wilcox, where where it's just like you'll get good play, but you won't get that much. So I would expect it to be X Woods and Jeff Heath back there.
Okay. Wow, that's a good one. Shout out to South to Heaven, who's just joined us. Brother, what's going on, man?
You might have to unmute him. Oh, there he goes.
I would have loved to have talked, but what are we trying to get technical here? Are we on TV or?
No, we just looking at projection of player just coming up. Let me ask you something.
No, I was talking about the mute. You know what I mean? That's all.
No.
It just brings back noise and echo, and it's hard to hear. That's all it does.
Yeah. You can since you unmuted, I guess I can go ahead and ask you this question. Do you want? Okay, a lot of people say they want Zeke to go over 15. Do you want him to for the sake of the Cowboys, or do you not because it kind of burns you out?
Hey, we're burnt out of not getting a ring. So that 13 and 3 year, what do you have? 1,600 or something? Remind me. Anybody?
It was up there. I don't know. It was up there. What was it, Space Cowboy?
What, for Zeke's first year?
Yeah.
He had like 1,600 yards, but keep in mind he only played like 14 and a half games.
Wow.
So like, and he had what, like, I could look. He had like 16 touchdowns in total in 14 and a half games.
So I'm totally down with another 1,600 yard season.
Okay. That's out to heaven to the ones that don't know on here, man. This question is for my Cowboys family and Will, because Will, you talk about this guy a lot, and my Cowboys family, you pretty much back him up a lot. If Dak starts off rough, God forbid that he do, when is a point where you say, okay, something is wrong? Is it 3-4 interceptions, 4 games in? Or is it like, well, the season just began to give him time? But when is a point where you say, okay, Dak got to really take a step back and look at himself? When is it panic time?
I think that it's the reasons why he's doing bad we have to look at, first. And I'm not trying to put excuses, it's more of an explanation. If it's because, we don't have the depth like last year, which we do, and these guys have to be coached up right. So if those things happen and Dak is still failing us and it's directly on the passing game, then Dak has to step up as soon as possible. Now I think they're gonna let it ride out. I think the Cowboys are gonna let it ride out pretty much for the season this year. But then I think next year we're gonna be eyeballing, quarterbacks and that kind of stuff. If that kind of season happens for Dak. Now I don't see that happening because I see this, he can throw the quick short passes, that can go for deep, can go big games, with big gainers like with Cole Beasley and Tavon Austin. So, I don't think, Dak has a pretty good percentage when he accuracy deep. He just doesn't throw deep that often. So, look, we have to wait and see. He's got to develop. I think the biggest thing with Dak, for me, he's got to read the defense. And not like Romo. Romo is a master at that. But he's got to be able to read the defense and make decisions on his own, on the fly, with his teammates. And I think if he does that, that's the next step. I think he's going to have an unbelievably successful career.
Good.
1980, what you think, man?
I agree. He pretty much said everything. This is my thing with Dak. Dak is he's bred to not make a lot of mistakes, and that's why he took some sacks last year. He'll take a sack before he'll throw an interception or before he do something wrong. I think a lot of the pressure, and they said this on the radio today, a lot of the pressure is going to be gone from Dak because they're not two veterans in his ear saying they want the ball like Jason Witten and Des Bryant. Oh, I want the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Everybody's young, so he gets to pick and choose who his number one or number two or who his go-to guy is. So a lot of that pressure is going to be gone from him. So that's a good thing. Just like Cowboys family said, if it comes to that point, which I doubt it happens because Dak just isn't built that way. He rarely makes those. I don't think he'll put himself in a position or predicament to get in that, situation. I just don't see it. He wasn't bred. He wasn't taught that way. I think that like Cowboys family said, they'll do a lot of evaluating and he'll at least finish the year out. And if it gets to that point to where, oh well shit, Dak's gotta, it'll be, next season, off season, somebody else to step up but I just don't see it, man. Dak's too good. He's just too good of a quarterback to allow that to allow himself to get in that predicament.
I agree. That's a good point. That's good. I agree. I think I'm just hopeful we all as Cowboy fans, even if we don't like some Cowboy fans that don't like Dak Prescott, too bad. He's our quarterback. And the thing is that some people are like, I don't like Scott Linehan. We say we don't like Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett, but they are coaches right now, and we want to win a Super Bowl. They got to succeed. In the end, that's what I want.
See, you got to remember that Dak Prescott is young. He's still very young. A still very young quarterback, which is the captain of the team, the leader of the team. And when I brought up the point of him having guys in his ears, somebody like Dez, which I still wish Dez was on the roster, but you're a young guy and you got a veteran in your ear saying, "Give me the ball, give me the ball," and you got Jason Witten in your ear, "Give me the ball, give me the ball." And you got Zeke, hey, feed me the ball, feed me the ball. All these different things coming, and you still trying to learn the game. You still trying to learn the playbook and all that stuff. And that's a big load. Now that load is gone. Half of it is gone. You get what I'm saying? So this would be a more comfortable year for him, I believe, and he'll be able to, like I just said, he'll be able to pick and choose and take his time. And be able to mold his own receivers on where, because see, Des Bryant was already molded by Romo. Romo knew how to get him that ball. Romo was like Brett Favre. He was a gunslinger. He knew how to throw the ball in Dez's vicinity, and he'll catch it. He'll go get it. Dak is not. He's young. He's a kid. He's not going to do that. He doesn't want to make that mistake. He does not want to lose his spot. Just like with the interview, he's not going to say too much because he don't want to lose his endorsements. He don't want to lose his, he don't want to lose his livelihood, his family, the little money that he is getting paid. He don't want to lose it. So you can't blame him for that because like I said the other day, if you don't work, you don't eat. So you kind of got to go with a little bit of, even though if it's not right, you still got to kind of go with some things just to keep bread on the table. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I got on that one.
That's actually a good point because you could be hindered when you got people in your ear saying, "Get it to me" or "Get it to me." It's kind of stun your growth. It's kind of stun your growth, and not then you be a variety type of quarterback that you need to be because, like you said, Dez was already groomed. He got groomed by Tony Romo, so he only knew one style of football. His style of football was 50-50 ball. I'm bigger, stronger, more aggressive than you. And Dak wasn't ready to take on that role as the person giving it to him because he wasn't as accurate as Romo. Romo had so many years to become the type of quarterback he became. So many years to be accurate with Dez and so many years to know where to put it. When in 2016, Dak didn't really have to worry about it as much because we had Zeke killing him. But last year, Zeke was gone, and then we had to go to our second quote-unquote best player, which was Dez, and he didn't deliver because him and Dak really didn't have time to develop that thing.
There you go.
Maybe Dez had this issue and that issue. Well, when you're on that field, you got to play ball, and if you're injured, you don't need to be on that field because you're hurting us. So that's a real good point, man. I never really thought about it, with Witten in his ear and Dez in his ear and stun his growth because You know, how can you grow when you only throwing it to this person and this person? Because I mean, it's such a good point because Dez and Whitten were our two highest receiving yards last year, our two best receivers last year when it came to yards. So you're right. That's a good point.
Yep.
That is a great point, you know. So yeah.
And see, great players grow together. Look at Montana and Jerry Rice. Look at Troy Aikman and Irvin. You know, and so on and so on. Great players grow together, and if you ain't got that time to grow, you know, a lot of fans don't understand that. They don't look at it like they just look, oh, that's a bust. We got to get rid of. No, man, it takes time. You just got to give it time. Now is the time to really figure out, okay, what style of receiver Dak's gonna like the most. You know, he's got different styles out there now, so there's no excuse. Now we got to get the play calling underway. Get the right play calling, and we'll be fine.
That leads into my next thing, and I'm gonna take this from the south of heaven, brother. Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. Will Jason Garrett step up when he sees Scott Linehan screwing up as usual, or will he just let it ride out? Because you got to think, we got a whole different receiving core this year, so there's no excuses. Dez Bryant is gone. Jason Witten is gone. We got nothing but speed. We got a healthy Zeke. We got an offensive line with the depth we damn needed this year. So if Linehan is screwing up on plays, do you see Jason Garrett stepping up and taking up? Because remember, he was an offensive coordinator. So if Linehan screws up, do you see Jason Garrett stepping up and taking over, or he's just sitting back and doing what he did last year?
Garrett's been with us this many years, and we know what we're going to get out of Garrett. So I don't see any changes, but it's like I think they are thinking in their head that we can do better. We need to start coaching better because, I mean, Tavon Austin, he's basically Ryan Switzer. But now, if you look at training camp now, they're using Tavon Austin. He's going everywhere. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And that's what they did not use Switzer for, but we drafted him for that reason. So now it's like we got him doing all these plays out in training camp. Well, we get to see these plays in games. A little off the subject, but kind of on the subject. You get what I'm saying? Garrett's still going to be. Are these guys actually going to use some of these crazy plays and mix it up?
Okay, Dallas Cowboy football news. Let's say Linehan, just even with these new players, speedy receivers, everybody we got, healthy Zeke, healthy offensive line. Will Linehan still call the vanilla plays? And if he do, will Garrett step up and be like, look, new team, new guys, we need new plays? What do you think is going to happen?
Garrett's going to be Garrett, fifth quarter Cowboys, unfortunately. And, I mean, we talked about this earlier in the offseason. And I brought up, how many times have you seen Garrett talk to coordinators on the football field and in the game time? Yeah, they probably do it at halftime, but that's probably the only time if they do. Hell, we can't see them. How do we know they're fucking talking to each other? So Garrett's adjustments with players. I mean, the only player I've seen Jason Garrett talk to during games was the special teams coordinator, Rich Bisaccia. That was it. Or he'll be like a decoy for Scott Linehan, and Scott Linehan's telling Dez to play, and Jason Garrett's talking to Dak. I mean, that's the only interaction, correct me if I'm wrong, that I've seen from Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is not going to take over the offensive play calling because Jerry Jones said this training camp he's more excited for this coaching staff. So Jerry Jones already betted 1,000 times on this coaching staff, this revamped new assistant, everybody, right? So if Scott Linehan calls vanilla plays, I have all the confidence in the world that the players are actually going to execute those vanilla plays with the O-line, with the addition of Carl Williams. And it's crazy I'm saying this, but with the addition of Tavon Austin, Zeke, the healthy Zeke, right? Alan Hearns, Michael Gallup, the players, okay, it can be vanilla, but how are our superstars going to execute this vanilla play column? And that's what it boils down to. The players, and I don't know I think maybe 1980 said that the players got to outplay the coaches.
That's him. He said it. Yep.
Let me step back in here. We were gifted because our great effing quarterback, Tony Romo, that he would audible out of plays. You know what I mean? Whether it was Linehan's plays or Garrett's plays, Romo would mix things up at the line here and there, and we were gifted on that. Now, Dak, he's going to have to, like you guys just said earlier, one of you guys, he's going to have to start learning to read some defenses. And, hey, he might have to audible out or do something, mix it up.
Yeah, good point. Space Cowboy, what do you see Garrett doing if Lanahan blows this to shit? I mean, with all these new players and the speed we got so much versatility now. They said Cole Beasley out there burning people left or right, man. Do we get the same vanilla plays, or will he really push the line this year to win?
For me, what I expect Garrett to do is he's gonna. This is the problem that I see, is that I feel like he doesn't have any pressure on him that we see. Obviously, we don't work in the organization, so I don't know. Like, for us, we could say, like, Jerry might say, well, he's not going to get fired if he misses the playoffs. And I said this point on the roundtable. Just because he says this doesn't mean that he has any other sentiments. Like, Stephen Jones and Will McClay might be getting sick and tired of Mr. Clapper doing his thing, and they want him gone. But for me, this is a no excuses year. This goes for everybody. But if we're just talking on the coaching staff, my thing is that fine, if you want to just adapt your play calling here and there, put in a couple new plays, that's fine. If you think the personnel are adequate to run these plays, and if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, then clearly there's something wrong with your play calling, because you're the one that's going out there saying, well, we don't think that Dez is a good fit for this offense anymore. Well, we think that we need to get some new receivers. Well, we need to get some more offensive lineman depth. So I fully look at the coaching staff to be responsible if something goes down. And I expect Lanahan to be the first one gone if something goes, goes awry, depending on what happens. Obviously Dak's going to be looked at a lot more. The receivers, are they going to be talented enough? The offensive line, etc. So that's my whole thoughts on that.
My Cowboys family, I know how y'all feel about the coaches, but you know it. How do you see this going if Lanahan just even with these new guys, if he's giving us the same shit? How do you see this going, man?
I mean, I see Lanahan first gone. I mean, without question, man. It's not going to be Garrett unless we're like 3-13 or some shit like that. But if we go, we don't make the playoffs, or if we don't see, it's this thing too. Like, I don't care if Dak has 3,500 yards and we go 13-3. I'm happy. I don't care if people say he's not the best quarterback, he's not elite. I don't give a shit. We're winning games. And so, and hopefully more in the playoffs. But my point is that, I don't care if he gets 5,000 yards. Again, as long as the play calling by Lanahan is working, and we got all his piece, these are not Dak's choices. These are Scott Lanahan's choices. And I think they're going to maximize Scott Lanahan's game plan. So I'm expecting this to work, or else he's fired. That's without question, in my opinion. And if it doesn't, and then that's the buffer for Jason Garrett to play out his contract, to coach out his contract.
Let me say this real quick.
Okay.
Rod Marinelli was, thinking about retirement, and I think this is the year that after this year, whatever happens, Rod Marinelli is going to retire. They just revamped the whole assistant coaching positions, right? I mean, everybody's brand new over there, except, the running back coach, stuff like that. But the scapegoat to all this is why Jason Garrett's going to say, well, we did our assistant coaches last year. Now it's time to do our coordinators. Rod Marinelli retired. Chris Richard, here you go. Scott Linehan, you got to go too, just because Rod retired. And that's, I guarantee you, if shit hits the fan, that's what the coaches are going to say. That's what Garrett and Jerry and Steven are going to say. And
so you think even if they screwed up, even if we can go 4-12, you think Garrett is still safe?
You know why he's still safe? Because they're going to pinpoint it on play calling. Des Bryant's been screaming this on Twitter. If shit hits the fan, they're going to say, oh, no, we got a new offensive coordinator, Dak-friendly coordinator. Scott Linehan couldn't do it. This is what we're going with. Jason Garrett got him. He got his guy. Watch.
And that's the buffer. And that's the buffer for Dak too. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to give Dak anything. Excuse. But I'm saying that's the buffer he's going to get from the leeway he's going to get from Jerry Jones if it's a 4-12 season, 3-13 season. So the first guy is Linehan. He's the first guy. Everything's on him right now, honestly, and he's pulling out all the stops. And we'll see if it works. I mean, obviously, I am cheering for him. I'm still going to not like him until he proves me wrong.
Right. 1980. I know you said this many times. The players got to outplay the coach. They got to outplay the coaches. Just elaborate on that a little more about, tell them what you mean, because it kind of answers my question I got for you. So.
What? I'm sorry. Say it again, dog. My bad. My kids.
I said, you've been pretty much saying the past 4 or 5 months that the players have to outplay the coaches, and just elaborate on that a little bit. Just go into more depth of what you mean.
Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Yeah. That's exactly right. Now, we got a young team. We got fresh meat. So it's the coach's job to adjust to what type of personnel they have. You get what I'm saying? Just like a teacher, a third grade teacher, second grade teacher, whatever, they don't get the same kids every year. They get a different generation. Every year they get a different generation. And all kids are the same, but they have differences. You get what I'm saying? So they have to adjust. The teachers have to adjust to if this child has any learning disabilities, or if this child's an A student, or this child's a B student, or they have to adjust to what they have. It's the coach's job. That's what they get paid for. Obviously, the players got to get out there and play and outplay the coaching if necessary. But that doesn't have to be. If the coaches just do it exactly what they're supposed to, what they're getting paid for, what they're getting millions of dollars for, and you got billions of people that wish they were in their shoes, making that kind of money and doing something they love doing. All you're doing is coaching and adjusting to what's going on. That's it, man. I mean, that's all they have to do. That's just the whole thing. The coaches have to adjust to their players. We got a lot. We're one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the NFL now. I mean, we still got key pieces like Dak and Zeke and, Sean Lee and, players on the defense as well, D-Law and Taco and players like that. But we got on the offensive side of the ball, especially because they're the ones that score the points. So the play calling's got to get stepped up. If we got a speedier receivers, we got to adjust to speedy plays. They have playbooks, specific playbooks for just like the Raiders when they had Rocket Ismail and James Jett and James Trapp, all them guys, man, running 4.2s, 4.3s. They had to adjust to that speed. They didn't know how. That's why they weren't very good, because they didn't know how to use that speed. See, now we got a lot of speed, so hopefully we can adjust, because having speed is good, but then you see where it got the Raiders. They didn't do too good. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't know how to work with it, you're not going to be able to be successful at it. So coach is going to have to step up big time this year. And Garrett, I agree. Garrett probably will still be safe just because that's his homeboy and they cool like that, and they'll blame it on, so.
Okay. Yeah. I got one more topic before I get out of here, man. I want to talk about linebackers, man. I want to talk about Sean Lee, Jalen, Damian Wilson, Van Der Esch. I don't know Joe Thomas. I'm gonna start this off with football news. Man,
real quick. I mean, right before we're gonna go to a new subject, but there was talk about somebody won't get fired if we go 4-12. I got to tell you, if we go 4-12, I'm the new head coach. I'm the new offensive coordinator, because there's no way in hell that this team is going 4-12. Turn it around the other way. That's the way I see it.
Okay. I'm with you on that one, brother. Well, we definitely not doing 4-12. Football news. A while back, me and you was debating, and we was talking about Jalen Smith, and you said you can't hold him back. You got to let him go to see what he really can do. So, what's your projection of Jalen Smith this year? Do you see him like being really, really effective, or just, because you got the guys that just do their job, but then you got the guys that's really cause a disruption in an offense. Damian Wilson is a guy that just does his job, and sometimes he don't even do it that good. But then you got guys like Sean Lee that causes a real disruption in an offense. Do you see Jalen Smith doing his job or causing a real disruption to people like, damn, that boy really is 100%?
That's actually a really, really good question. And it's going to come down to, he just said in a press conference with the media, I'm a pass rusher at heart. So not only do guys got to look for number 90, number 94, number 95, number 51, Jahad Ward, right? They got to look for number 54. They got to see where he's at because he could be blitzing you. He could drop back in coverage. He could play all three linebacker positions. Sean Lee can play all three line. The creation that Chris Richard and Rod Marinelli have right now, if this defense isn't top 5, I got to go slap somebody over there because they got so much talent in the front 7 alone, especially when David Irving comes back and Malik Collins comes back. They got so much talent in that front 7. It is unbelievable. And Jalen Smith is just a piece of that. And with that disruption that Jalen Smith is going to cause, players are going to be offensive linemen, quarterbacks, tight ends are going to have to look for number 54, running backs. They're going to try to chip them. But I don't think they're fast enough. Jalen Smith has no more ankle brace, none of that. There's nothing holding the animal back, and he's got to unleash.
Wow. Really good point. So unmute your mic real quick because this is another part I got for you. Sean Lee, are we getting a full season of Sean Lee?
We're getting a full season of Sean Lee if linebackers and players take the pressure off Sean Lee. Because for a long time, Barry Church and Sean Lee was leading these teams in tackles. So now we have the talent around this defense where Sean Lee doesn't have to make, but the instinct, the reaction, everything Sean Lee has is what makes Sean Lee great, is what makes this defense great. So if Leighton Vander Esch, if Jalen Smith, if these guys, nickel, dime, whatever defense they're in, if they can take the pressure off Sean Lee where he's not leading the team in tackles, Sean Lee will be healthy for 16 games.
Wow. Okay.
We all hope you're right. We all do. I look at the other side. That 13-3 team, man. We control the time of possession. Our defense was just sitting back, just chilling. So the more we keep them off the field, run the ball, control that clock, keeps that defense young, fresh, healthy, ready to go.
That's right. Yep.
Part 3 football news. Leighton Vander Esch, LVE. Passing game, probably mostly what I'm thinking. He can spread the field. He's a big boy. Are your expectations high, or are they normal? Because, like I said last year, I didn't want another first rounder that was not start like they did with Taco, and I think I'm getting it again. It happened last year with Taco, and I think it's happening again. So, what are your thoughts on Leighton Vander Esch? Do you see him being very productive? Do you see him getting a lot of playing time? And will he take some of the pressure off our linebackers so they can attack the running back more, the quarterback more, being the fact that Vander Esch is very long, he's tall, and he's probably going to help a lot when it comes to the passing game. Do you see him being effective as far as when it comes to helping out? Sean, I don't. What's his position? Is he? What side is he playing on? If anybody knows, my Cowboys family. Or who put it like this? Who is he going to be out there with?
Who with Leighton?
Who's Vander Esch going to be out there with?
They said that he's. They said he's playing the Mike and the Will, but they're prioritizing the Mike right now.
He's the backup to Jalen Smith.
So they trying to figure out. If Jalen Smith is going. I thought Jalen Smith was going to be the middle linebacker, projected to be the middle linebacker, right?
No, they're projecting Leighton to be the middle linebacker. They just want.
Well, I think it just depends on what defense they want to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're gonna be running mainly the nickel defense. You're just gonna have Jalen Smith and Sean Lee. Leighton's the backup middle. If you're gonna have the 4-3, right now they have Damian Wilson as a strong side linebacker with Jalen in the middle, and that's the current lineup right now when they have the 4-3 base. When it's the nickel, it's Jalen and Sean Lee. That's what it's gonna be. So, but Leighton is 100% backup to Jalen as the middle, but I do think as the season goes on, you're going to see more Leighton in there, mixing into the middle linebacker and having Jalen play the strong if needed, or maybe relieving Sean Lee.
My issue is with Jalen playing them. I think that if he's fully healthy and he has that mobility, absolutely, I don't have a problem with that. The thing is, though, is that if Jalen's technique and his specialty is pass rushing, he has to be the Sam.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying like there could be a possibility where it happens to work out that Leighton's the strong, the Sam.
That's a good point.
Stuff like that. But my thing is Leighton was designed to work in this crap. I hate the Tampa 2 defense, but that's how he is. We need an athletic middle linebacker, which the Cowboys have failed to have. Yes, Sean Lee, I consider him one, but he doesn't play middle linebacker anymore, right? So with Leighton, he is your coverage middle linebacker, which everyone was screaming that we needed. And I know, like, the only reason I got upset with the pick was because of where he got picked, not who we picked. But ultimately, I think that your linebacking core is going to be Jalen at the Sam. The Mike's going to be Leighton because he definitely has to start somewhere. And then Sean Lee's your Will, and you try to keep him as relieved as possible.
Let me ask you this real quick, Space Cowboy. What if the Dallas Cowboys maybe bust out some 3-4 defense?
Oh, I would love that.
And have Jalen Smith play in that DeMarcus Ware type role like back in the day.
Oh, I would
they have the Deacon defense coming, by the way. I mean, we have that, and Jalen's going to probably be that rushing guy, the one who hits the gaps, and blitz is in there. So I like what they have ready for Jalen blitz.
I got a question real quick, man, if I can get this one in. Cowboys family or anybody, Cowboys family, have you seen any footage on Jalen Smith? How does he look? How is he planning and cutting and all that stuff? Does anybody know?
Oh, fantastic. Man, he looks like a different player than last year at this time. Like 10 times better. No, I'm not trying to hype him up. I think he's a Pro Bowl ready guy possibly this year. Wow. Again, based on his footwork, on the way the speed that he hits the bag is just different than everybody else. I mean, Sean Lee's a monster out there, but Jalen Smith, he just seems like Sean Lee, Jr. in a way, just the way that they play with the aggressiveness. And you can see the difference between him and Sean Lee. And I want to say one other guy, the linebacker, is LVE. I mean, he looks fucking great out there. I'm just saying, hitting the holes. And now I don't know about when they have to start tackling. We'll see. But, I just like the way Jalen Smith is really learning football a little better too, this last year.
And Jalen, maybe he wasn't physically able to rock and roll last year, but he learned a ton from his boy Sean Lee. He learned a lot from Sean Lee last year, and now that his body's like, hey, we can make these plays now, and I think he's ready, and he's ready to kick ass.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Dallas Cowboy football news in regards to like the 3-4, I've always preferred. See, the thing is I knew the Cowboys. If you told me in 2017 that they were going to try and run the 3-4, I don't think it would have worked. But considering who we had at linebacker, I wouldn't mind if they decided to switch back to a 3-4. But then again, you obviously don't want to do that now as we're going into the season because were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to finish listening to you.
Okay. So with the 3-4, it prioritizes the use of linebackers as opposed to like natural defensive linemen, obviously. And we all know that the Cowboys defense was much better with the 3-4. Granted, it was different personnel, so I don't want to compare. It's like comparing apples to oranges. But I've seen the Cowboys do a lot more successfully under the 3-4 compared to the 4-3. Now, we're doing good with the 4-3 as it is right now, but I'm thinking that if Rod Marinelli leaves and he doesn't have his personal touch with his defensive lineman, I'm starting to think that the Cowboys might have to switch back to a 3-4 because the Cowboys have had great defenses, especially of recent, with that.
Hell yeah!
I wasn't talking about.
We had a great 3-4. We had my boy Greg Ellis on one side, and we had our boy D. Ware on the other.
Yeah,
but it's not changing the whole defense to a 3-4. It was like making packages where we run a 3-4.
No, I understand. Yeah, I wanted to just talk about that in general. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, like in that case, yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
In order to, which I know they're not going to do, they never do that. They never switch like that. But in order to have a good 3-4, they're going to have you got to have a hell of a nose tackle. I mean, your nose tackle has to be like Warren Sapp. You know what I mean? So it's just and your outside line about to change too. So it all has to do with, like you said, personnel and who we got out there on those ends. Because it's the 3-4 is almost designed to stop the run because you got more speed, you got more linebackers out there. So, but your nose tackle has to really be on point.
Wait, what if David Irvin had all his lights on and no issues? Could he control that nose?
Oh yeah, he could, because he's got the body length to do it. He's got it, but you won't. Only thing about a nose tackle, he has to be. I like my nose tackles like kind of big bellies, fat. Like Warren Sapp was. He could clog up that middle. So. But they'll never do that. They'll never switch unless that was Parcells' scheme. So they'll never unless they got a new coach in there and he was able to convince them that it worked.
Okay. I gotta ask this. My Cowboys family, what do you project out of Malik Collins? Are we like when will he play? Is he gonna play this year? Like what's going on with him?
Well, before I talk about him, I just got something I just saw come out, and Jerry Jones was caught on camera, in the past for the national anthem with his hat on. I just wanted to say that. Just he's been criticized.
He wants him some glory hole.
But you understand the hypocrisy there?
I can't blame him.
Hey, if he wants respect for the flag, I'm just saying, let's keep it consistent. Anyways, Malik Collins. Malik Collins, I mean, I truly believe that, he's out there working on with the resistance bands, and he's on the sidelines kind of like doing his thing. I'm seeing Tapper out there. Man, he is doing some stuff out there. I got to say, I perked up a little bit. Yeah, the guy's looking good. He's beating a lot of one-on-ones. He beat Zach Martin on a one-on-one, I think. My point with him is that he's really looking quick, fast, agile. Now, hopefully he don't snap his leg again, but as long as he keeps healthy, he could challenge. Also, I'm hearing him or Coney Ely or both, along with going to be moving into a defensive tackle position, possibly. But what I definitely, we know for sure, Rod Marinelli said that he's trying to get on third downs to move Tyrone Crawford at defensive tackle on third downs. And then finding a pure pass rusher, Randy Gregory, or Dorrance Armstrong, somebody out there that's going to be a pass rushing specialist.
Crawford at tackle? Really?
Only on third down. Let's get he probably start at first to stop the run on the outside, and then they'll move him inside to play a defensive tackle position. I'm assuming it's probably more for the first 4 games, but it's another option the Cowboys are thinking about doing. Marinelli confirmed this on third down. He said this on third down. I want to find a pass rushing right defensive end, saying Gregory, Dorrance Armstrong, everybody wake up. This is your chance.
Have you seen the projected defensive line starters, Cowboys family?
I mean, right now it's the ones we expect. On the left is Tank, and the right is Tyrone Crawford, and the defensive tackles in the 4-3. It's going to be it's always right now it's going to be Malik Collins and David Irving. We think, but Jahad Ward and Datone Jones, those are the 2 guys playing inside. So Brian Price got handled by Travis Frederick. You guys saw that one-on-one thing. But I mean, they're playing team game, team-wise, when they go out there in 11-11s, those are the guys that are playing with pads and right now currently getting all the reps inside, or most of the reps inside.
We got to get this pass rush. We got to get this pass rush, man. We got to. That's your offensive line on the defense, man.
I'm more nervous about stopping the run. That's my fear this year. I know we have the linebackers that are going to help, but man, that worries me a little bit. I know it's front 7 to stop the run, so I know it's not just but the front 2 got to clog it up somehow. They got to be disruptive, and I'm just still worried. We haven't seen that. I got worried about it.
You're talking about stopping the run, and I'm already thinking about the other running back we come against week 1, McCaffrey. Catching balls, and Cam hit him all last year. He's going to hit him again, especially week 1. So what are our linebackers going to do in coverage? But Jalen looked great against Zeke. So maybe that's giving us, some big positives.
Well, a little update too on Carolina, just so you guys know, because this is going to affect our game. They lost their cornerback today, broke his leg. He's out for the year. They lost their offensive tackle. He's out for the year with torn MCL. So my point is that Carolina's going through some shit right now, and that's going to be Tank going against him. Tank is going to go against a second year guy who's played 46 snaps.
Who they got at running back? Who they got at running back?
McCaffrey and C.J. Anderson. And Cam Newton is really their running back. Think about it. But
Yeah,
but
they're going to throw a lot to McCaffrey.
The thing with Cam, though, just so I can get this out there, I'm pretty sure all of us know Cam sucks under pressure. Like, and that showcased in the Super Bowl because what happened was that if you pressure Cam to throw a ball, he's either going to try and run out of the pocket to preserve the first down or try to do something with his legs, or he's just going to make an inaccurate throw. That's why that's why when you see all of Carolina's losses and how they come, there's typically, a common denominator when it comes to the pressure that Cam Newton gets and the losses that Carolina has. And I think this is going to be a perfect thing that happens to us, especially if Tank's lining up on that, that backup tackle.
Yeah, this is not the team that Cam played in 2015 that he was flexing on the end zone. This is not that team. This is not that team. We got some heavy hitters now, man. Like, man, once again, I'll be down there October 14th in Dallas when we play the Jags. So anybody in that area, man, come to the game. Cowboys 27. I'm gonna have to kidnap 1980 to get him out the house probably.
No offense. I got to jump in because, I'm the Florida boy. And, man, when they put Tampa and the Jaguars games, I know my Cowboys family was crying too just with me. It's like both of those Florida teams playing in Texas. It's like, because that would have been a nice thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. October 14th, you're able, man. Come out here. We're going to do a live video, before the game. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I appreciate everybody for coming on here tonight, man. Real good talk. If ain't nobody else got nothing to say, I'm probably going to end it once everybody get up their own shout-outs. Anybody else got something else they want to talk about?
I think I caught you guys late, but I'm glad I could join in. I seen the link up there in chat, and hey, I know what to do. And I know we all got a lot of the same diehard Cowboy fans that follow us, but everybody's got their own crew. So, again, South of Heaven 88, subscribe me. I do TTC, Trash Talk Circle, so some of my stuff will not be 100% Cowboys related, but if you jump in the chat, say something to me, man. Let me know what's up. And, all my boys are here, man. Man, much love to Cowboys family, man. Good to see you guys.
Hey, quick question. I got a quick question, Fifth Quarter Cowboy. He asked everybody questions. I got a question for you, Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Now, during our pre-training camp roster spot, we all bidded on, I guess the consensus was 3 quarterbacks. Looking at the roster and looking at the positions, knowing all 4 tight ends are doing extremely well, this, that, and the other, right? And keep it 3 quarterbacks to make a 53. Now, has your theory changed of keeping 3 quarterbacks? Or do we need to keep 2 now?
I still feel the same. I just don't see them get. Cooper Rush is doing pretty good in training camp, and Mike White is one of those type of guys. Like I say, man, I just look back in the past at when we've had issues with back. Like there was a point where we had to call a quarterback out of retirement because we didn't have no backups. You can say we had Matt Castle and Brandon Whedon as 2 backups, and they were trash. But I don't know, man. I'm just gonna say, as of right now, I still think they may not, but just as of right now, I don't see them having a reason to get rid of Mike White or Cooper Rush.
Anybody want to rebuttal?
Yes, not.
When you talk about quarterbacks, like how many you keep? I mean, I'm hearing, and I'm going to talk about this tonight later after DJ stream, but Mike White is looking like they're saying that he's looking really good out there. Cooper Rush is looking good. So, I don't know. I mean, it's going to really play out in the preseason games and how they play. But I think I have a feeling they're going to keep all 3.
Yeah, I would probably do the same, keep all 3. Because the thing is then you can use it as trade bait. You know what I mean? Like let's say Dak has a great year, but the backup quarterbacks are showing something to people, right? Guess what? You can get some extra picks.
That's what I said during that pre-roster thingamajigger.
That's a good point. Yeah.
3 quarterbacks can any of them play special teams.
so stop the heaven, Mike. So you're saying 2 quarterbacks then?
Man, I love the running backs we have, and I know we can't keep them all, but man, I want a lot of those guys to stay on the team.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it, man. You know, I still think we're gonna do that, and yeah. So pretty much that's about it for me. Start with 1980, brother. Go ahead and give them your outro. Let them know what's up.
All right, guys. Dallas Cowboy fan, 1980, man. I appreciate it once again. I talked to DJ earlier. I was trying to see if I'm gonna go live later on, so I went ahead and jumped on in and gave in my 2 cents. But once again, man, it's a privilege to be able to talk football with you guys. So make sure you stay cowboyed up because you never know what the day is gonna bring you. All right now.
Space Cowboy, give them your outro, man. Let them know what's up.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Fake Cowboys fan 17 here. No, I'm playing. Nah, man. Yeah, just, casually talking football with the rest of these guys. They're all great, probably better than I am, but you know what? We all have our specialties here. But yeah, if you want to, you can follow me on YouTube, Space Cowboy 17, obviously. On Twitter, Space Cowboy 17 as well. Have really nothing more to say. Thank you guys for, joining us. Thank you for having me on, DJ, and that's much appreciated.
In the so animated Dallas Cowboy football news.
Let me tell you something, brother. Oh, wait, that's 1980. My bad. It's just some Ow!
Hey, that's 1980 gig.
Oh, shit, my bad. And that's the bottom line.
Nope.
That's still not either. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. All right. It's been your Dallas Cowboy football news. Cowboy Nation. Peace.
Man, South of Heaven 88, brother. Let them know where they can find you.
You know what's up? I'm Mike Mosh, and I'll go ahead and take a story real quick. I'll tell you guys the story. It goes back to 2006, 2007. The Dallas Cowboys shows. Our boy Shango, one of the first Dallas video makers on here. And then I seen Halen 88. Halen 88 was a little different. He got the trash talk going. So we got this whole TTC movement going, and then Shango doing videos and Halen doing videos. I'm like, man, I want to came up and do videos, and I've been here ever since. And that's what's up. But I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, and I don't twist anybody's arms, but I do the jerseys. Everybody knows I did the jerseys. Mark Holmes has got jerseys for me. Shango's got jerseys for me. So if anybody needs anything, I'm here for you. And it's Mike Mosh like page on Facebook, Mike Mosh on Twitter, Mike_Mosh at yahoo.com. And of course, sub me up at South of Heaven 88. And you can always comment on one of my videos or whatever. Like, hey, what's that email address again? But again, Mike Mosh. Just a diehard Cowboy fan, man. I'm ready for the season. I heard you guys talking about Dak a little bit. And you got to be honest, the way this team is set up, I mean, if we went back 20 years ago when Garrett was young enough, I think Garrett could even rock and roll with this team because this team is set up to – it ain't going to take a genius quarterback. Last year, Tony Romo, we might have went 10-6. But other than that, my point is Troy Aikman, that Atlanta game, he's getting sacked 8 times. Danny White, he's getting sacked 8 times. Staubach and Romo, maybe they only got sacked, maybe 5 because they run around like a madman. But then again, Dak is a lot athletic as hell, man. He's crazy athletic. And so that's my 2 cents on the quarterbacks.
All right. MCF, brother, give it to him.
Oh, man, thank you, man. Just so, thank you for just having us on here, having MCF on here, man. Much love to you. Fifth Quarter Cowboys and the rest of the crew guys, the roundtable, and Mike Mosh doing this thing, man. And just sum up to this guy right here, man. He does it the realest, as we say here. So, and as far as the My Cowboys family, YouTube, the deal. We're gonna go live like shortly after this is over. So jump on over there if anybody's watching. Everybody watching in the chat, jump over there if you want after this, and we continue it. So much love, man. Thanks for that, and never forget, go Cowboys, baby! Woo!
Go Cowboys!
Everybody, man, kill them softly, working.
I got 2 words for you.
Give it to
go
them.
Cowboys!
We them boys.
Oh wait, that's my Cowboys too. I suck at this.
Hey, thank y'all for coming through, man. Appreciate everybody. Everybody on the panel, thank y'all for coming through, giving y'all 2 cents on this game, man. I appreciate all y'all guys.
I'm going to a whorehouse now. I'll catch y'all later.
Man. All right, peace, y'all.